Our next guest is a very funny comedian who's currently on her Just Getting Started tour. Her book, What in the World? A Southern Woman's Guide to Laughing at Life's Unexpected Curveballs and Beautiful Blessings is available now. Please welcome to the show the very funny Leanne Morgan, everybody. Leanne, how are you?
Thank you, Seth. I'm good. I'm so tickled to be here.
Thank you for having me. You have had a very exciting couple of years. Have you been enjoying it?
I have, honey. I've been very busy going and doing, touring, movie.
Movie?
Writing this book.
Yeah.
And, doing nifty things like this, but this is my biggest nifty thing.
Is it the niftiest?
Yeah, you're my biggest nifty thing.
Oh, my God.
You are.
You're from Knoxville, Tennessee. You're in New York City. You got your family with you. I met your daughters backstage.
Yeah.
Are you excited about spending a few days in New York City?
Oh, I always love being up here, but I am from the country. I'm farming.
No.
I'm a small town little farm girl, and so when I come to New York, I love it, but I get a little intimidated, and I think it's because I got lost at the Shrine Circus when I was 9.
Really?
And crowds are a little much for me, but if I stay close and all my kids stay close to me, and then I'm okay.
How long were you lost when you were 9 at the circus?
I'd say about 30 minutes.
That's a long time for a 9-year-old.
Yeah, away from my group, and a little darling elderly Shriner held on to me until we found them.
God love them.
I know.
It's very in line with what I expect from the Shriners, yeah. You talk about your family a lot. I'm someone who also has a lovely family that I also like talking about in terms of comedy.
Yes.
Do you have to run stuff past your family before you bring it to the stage?
Sometimes, but not much. But I'm telling you, see, now I'm a grandmama. And thank you.
Yeah.
And
you look too good. They don't believe you. Yeah.
But I have been doing stand-up for over 25 years. And so when everything was fine when they were in elementary, because they didn't know, then middle school, it was like, do not say my name out of your mouth.
Yeah.
And that was a very dry time for me. And I didn't have any material because everybody was going through puberty, and they don't want to talk about it. They don't want their mama to say that on the radio, local radio.
Oh, my God, it must have... I bet you had so much to say about it, too.
It was so much to say, and I couldn't do any of it.
That makes you a great mom. That's very sweet of you to listen to them.
Thank you.
You've been doing this for like 25 years, as you mentioned, and the last few years... I don't know. What do you think? All of a sudden, it just explodes. I mean, you've always had the talent. You've always had audiences love you when you're on stage. Is this something that you sort of thought maybe would never happen?
Yes. In my early 50s, like all of a sudden I thought, oh my gosh, it's not going to happen for me. And I write in my book, What in the World? And I named it What in the World because every day I go, what in the world? This happening to me. But I was, I did comedy for years. Hollywood would come around every once in a while and want me to do a show, and then it wouldn't make it. But in my early 50s, I told my husband, Chuck, Chuck, I don't think anything's going to happen. And I said, I want to open up a hardware store in Knoxville and get a cheese wheel and rocking chairs and let everybody come and gather, and I'll sell canning goods. I really thought that's what I was going to do.
By the way, for a plan B, you'd really thought it through.
I did. And then he said, you've lost your mind. And so I thought, I'm going to give it a last-ditch effort, and I hired these 2 young boys to do my social media because I had been putting up pictures of my dachshund and really not doing anything. Yeah. And I didn't know how to edit a clip.
Sure.
And all that voodoo, social media. And these 2 boys who are so creative put out one video that went viral and I think changed my whole career.
What a thing.
I know. And then I started selling out all over the United States.
Amazing.
In my 50s. Thank y'all.
Your parents owned a grocery store in Tennessee when you were little, and then a meat processing plant?
A meat processing plant.
And
we're meat people.
You're meat people, and I'm sure the meat path was open to you, and yet comedy appealed to you. Were you funny as a kid? Did your parents think you were funny as a kid?
Yeah, I could have gone into meat.
You could have gone into me. And that's still there for you.
It's still there.
I want you to know that's still there for you.
That's still there.
Get this crazy hardware store out of your head.
I know, because I still think I could wrap that meat. I know how to wrap it. What did you ask me, Seth?
Were you funny as a kid?
I was, and I hate to say that. I mean, I hate to toot my own horn, but yeah, I was, or I thought I was. You know, I was always doing, tap dancing, doing. I always wanted to be in show business, and I knew it from the time I was 9 or 10 years old. And I would tell my little mama, Lucille, I want to go to Hollywood. And she goes, oh, yeah, you can do it. You're going to do it.
That's fantastic.
Thank
but then
you.
you didn't go right into it. You had you were just doing a regular job, and then through that, you found an audience, or you found that you could make an audience
Well,
laugh.
I went on to college. Instead of going, I wanted to be on Saturday Night Live instead of like getting in a car and driving to LA or Chicago or, you know, I didn't even think of that. And so I went to college and did a bunch of stuff in the 80s I shouldn't have done. And dropped out of school, went back to school, blah, 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 married Chuck Morgan. It's all in the book. And he moved me to Bean Station, Tennessee. And I had my first baby, Charlie, who's now 31 years old, has got my grandbabies. And I just always, I wanted to be a mama more than anything. But I knew in the back of my mind, I'm going to Hollywood, and I'd been to the Comedy Store, and I just thought, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And so I started selling jewelry, which I didn't, that's not how I got into I mean, it kind of is. Okay. All right, I started selling jewelry in the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains to make a little money to get my hair highlighted.
Sure.
And
We have all been there.
yeah. You know?
We're all in the foothills selling jewelry.
But I was selling jewelry so I could make a little money and I didn't have to leave my baby during the day and I could breastfeed. And I started selling jewelry and I didn't even care about jewelry. It's like Mary Kay or Tupperware in women's homes.
Yep.
But I look back on it now and I had my own little comedy club. I had women, my demographic, that were going through the same thing I was going through, and I developed a shtick. I developed an act, some of my first material, I said in people's living rooms when I was schlepping that jewelry. And then the company noticed I started booking about a year in advance these parties. And I remember saying, this is so arrogant, but I remember saying to these women, I had all that jewelry out on somebody's kitchen table, and we'd eaten some dip, and I said, book a party with me now or see me in Vegas later. Which is...
We all get a little cocky after we have some dip. So you write this book, and again, we can tell you have an incredible story. I asked, you know, how do your family feel about when you put them in your act? This is, though, you being honest about yourself. Were you worried about, especially your kids, you know, reading an honest account of your life, you know, before them?
No.
Yeah.
I've always been, my sister's in the audience, and my sister is very private, and she would always get upset with me when I was little because I would tell all of our business. I've just always told everything, and I tell it like it is. I don't know any other way to do it. I really, and I talk about, I wanted to tell more. I wanted to tell a lot more, but...
Book two, right?
Book 2. After a cookbook, I think I'll talk about my sin. In the third one.
The third one. The middle one's the cookbook, then the sin. You got it all.
And maybe even combine sin with a cookbook.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, that's gonna fly off the shelves. You also, you mentioned your movie, did a movie with Will Ferrell and Reese Witherspoon. How about that?
Oh
Fantastic.
my gosh. Yes, I play Reese Witherspoon's big sister, Gwyneth.
Great. I mean, it makes sense to me. And I bet it was a blast to be with them.
We had a ball. We had a ball.
You also have a television show coming out. You worked with Chuck Lorre, different Chuck.
Yeah.
Not your Chuck.
I got a lot of Chucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chuck Lorre.
Fantastic.
Wants to do a television series with me, a sitcom based on my comedy.
But you are going to be, you're going to play a divorcee in this, and you are happily married still. Is this how does other Chuck feel about this?
Well, at first he was a little weirded out, but he's okay. If I'm making money, he doesn't care.
Yeah, that's good.
And then And then my little 84-year-old daddy called me and said that somebody saw it on Facebook that I was getting a divorce. And it was the Variety thing about me getting a television show. And I said, Daddy, call him back, your friend, and tell him that the Beverly Hillbillies weren't true. You know, and this is a made-up thing, and nothing has happened to me and Chuck Morgan.
That's good. And I hope it never does because, he sounds like a wonderful guy. You obviously have a wonderful family, but more importantly, what a delight to meet you. Thanks so much for being here. You guys, this is Leanne Morgan. What in the world? A Southern Woman's Guide to Laughing at Life's Unexpected Curveballs and Beautiful Blessing. I'll now be right back.